Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of PNR Communications Tech Tips. My name is Don Humphrey, and I'm a technician here with PNR Communications. And today I would like to extend the discussion, and let's just call this Radio Range Part 2. Now, the last episode we discussed portable radios, and we discussed those kind of the off-the-shelf radios that you can buy at big box stores and what their range was. And today I'd like to expand on that and tell you how we extend that range and extend that coverage so that you can be successful in your business. So just a little bit of a review here. We learned in the last episode that the theoretical range of two portable radios trying to talk to one another, even on a flat, bald earth with no impediments in between the two of them, is about 6 to 7 miles. It's never going to be more than that, and that's mainly because the curvature of the earth. We know that we're never getting anywhere close to the range that the packaging on those consumer off-the-shelf radios claim, unless we're in very specific conditions. I'm on top of a mountain, and I'm trying to talk to my buddy down in the valley. I've got perfect line of sight. There is no impediments in between myself and him, and we know in those conditions that maybe we're going to get that published range on the outside of that radio box. But standing on flat earth, that's never going to happen. Those consumer off-the-shelf radios use shared unlicensed frequencies. So these are frequencies that are available for anybody that purchases these radios to use. And being unlicensed, they're uncoordinated. So if you purchase a pack of radios and your neighbor business purchases a pack of those radios, you might be using the exact same channels, the exact same frequencies, causing interference or reduced coverage because of that interference. And they're typically only capable of simplex operation. And that simplex operation just means that just from one portable to the other, the radio waves are transmitted by one, they're received by the other one. There's no other device in between. And we're going to expand on how we can take simplex, add another device, add some technology to make your range and your coverage a lot better. And typically these radios only operate in analog. So to contrast that with the Motorola portfolio of commercial and professional portable radios, the Motorola commercial and professional radios are made from higher quality components. Motorola invests a lot into research and development of their radios, and they're using higher components from manufacturers that are manufactured to higher tolerances, or closer tolerances, I should say. They also use licensed frequencies that are coordinated through the FCC. So, I mean, there's no guarantee that you're going to get an absolute clean frequency that nobody within 100 miles is using. In fact, the airwaves are so clogged now with a lot of RF energy out there. But coordinating those through the FCC, they give you the use of those frequencies for a 10-year period of time. And you can be fairly confident that between your radio professional that you're working with and the FCC, you can come up with a frequency that's going to be clean enough for use for your business. It's also available in a lot wider range of technologies and bands. They're available in the VHF, UHF, Moto Turbo, which is DMR digital protocol. They're available in the 7,800 megahertz, the 900 megahertz band, and P25, which is the primary protocol for public safety. Now, Motorola has been making portable radios since 1943. Now, granted, none of us would want to have to spend our day with the portable radio they made in 1943, since you had to strap it on your back. It weighed about 35 pounds, and I don't think it would be OSHA approved in today's day and age. But they do have the backing of all that experience of making radios. And additionally, they're capable of both simplex, that radio to radio, and repeater operation. So the repeater is the part we're kind of get into today. And let's take just a generic use case here where we've got a manufacturing plant. So this manufacturing plant needs to be able to talk from the office area over here, to the warehouse over here, to the guy out moving the trailers around on the loading docks. So our theoretical or our example case here, let's say Gallifrey Manufacturing, somebody in the office just took an order, needs to talk to somebody in the warehouse over there, and now we've got our guy out responsible for hauling around trailers with his tow motor that needs to get a trailer so that we can get this order out the door so that you can get paid and your business can be successful. Now, when we go into a facility like this, we would go in with just portable radios initially and do some testing. And let's see if this salesperson over in the office can talk to the warehouse, and see if the person in the warehouse can talk to the guy that's driving the tow motor outside. Now, if we find that we can't do that 100% of the time consistently, then we're probably going to recommend that you add another device, which is called a repeater. And in this facility, we would add that repeater and try to have that antenna for the repeater somewhere in the somewhere centrally located in the facility. So now instead of the radio in the office talking directly to the radio in the warehouse, what's going to happen is the radio in the office just has to talk to the repeater, then the repeater talks to the radio in the warehouse. And then when the warehouse is ready for that trailer, the radio in the warehouse talks to the repeater, which then talks to the radio outside for the guy in the tow motor, and he can move the trailer around. Now, this all happens simultaneously. So while the radio in the office is talking to the repeater immediately starts rebroadcasting that call to the other radios in the fleet. So it's something that happens instantaneously. So what is a repeater? Well, a repeater is just a radio, and it's a radio that's designed to retransmit radio traffic. It uses what we call a frequency pair. So it uses separate receive and transmit frequencies to accomplish its task of immediately repeating what it's hearing. It's typically licensed for higher power than portable radios, but it doesn't have to be. There are low power applications out there where if I only need 4 watts to accomplish the task, then I can have a repeater at 4 watts. But typically when we put in repeaters, we're putting in repeaters between 20 and up to maybe 100 watts. We talked already about the repeater receives the subscriber traffic and then retransmits at a higher power and height. And that height, as we're going to see in a minute, is the key, because when we lift that antenna up and get it higher in your facility, in our use case, then we have better coverage and we can reach those radios that maybe we couldn't reach before. And we also use repeaters not just to improve that range, but also to improve the signal quality. Because remember, all of our theoreticals that we did in the last episode, we weren't talking anything about signal quality. We were just talking about theoretical range. So I know you guys love the math as much as I do, so let's go back to some math again. And let's review the first problem that we did last week, and that was just to show how the curvature of the Earth affects our portable radio. So if I'm standing on the face of the Earth and my antenna on my radio is sitting at about 6 feet, my line of sight to where the curvature of the Earth would block my sight is 3 miles. And after we plug that into our little equation, our radio horizon is about 3.5 miles. So from portable to portable, our theoretical range was 6 to 7 miles due to the curvature of the Earth. So what we want to do now is, well, we want to expand our outdoor range. So what do? Well, here's our Earth again, and let's take that radio horizon calculation and figure it out what it would be for an antenna sitting at 150 feet on a tower. So at 150 feet on the tower, our actual line of sight to where the curvature of the Earth is going to block our vision is 15 miles at that height. So let's plug in the numbers. So we take our 1.42 times the square root of the height, and we come up with a radio horizon that's actually 17.39, so let's say 17.4 miles. So now my radio horizon, I can send those signals about 17.4 miles. So if we add that to the 3.5 3.49 miles, the 3.48 miles that we had with the portable. Now our theoretical radio horizon, our theoretical range between portable and repeater on the tower is about 21 miles. So we've expanded that coverage quite a bit. So if our tower is here in the center of our coverage area, and we know that our radio horizon, if I'm trying to reach a portable or the portable's trying to reach me, is 21 miles to the west of the tower, well, it's also 21 miles to the east of the tower. So now that combined coverage area is now about 42 miles. Now again, keep in mind, this is just a theoretical problem. We would need to do some coverage study because we know we're not living in a world where it's just bare earth between our tower and the radio in the field that needs to hear this traffic. But our coverage area is greatly increased, and depending on how the system is designed and what power we're using, then we can kind of tweak and get down to where our radio signal quality is appropriate for your application. So what we've learned is that don't believe the hype, don't believe the things that you see on those radio packages in the stores, and just know that just radio to radio, just portable to portable, is not the only way to solve your communications problem for your manufacturing facility, your warehouse, your hospital, your school, whatever it happens to be. We do have technology, and we can deploy that in analog, in digital, in any number of formats that fits your budget and your goals for communication throughout your facility or throughout the coverage area that you're responsible for. So hopefully I've shed a little bit of light on what a repeater is, what it can do for you, and hopefully you'll visit us on our website at p&rcommunications.com. There's a contact us link on that webpage. Reach out to us if you have any questions whatsoever. We will put you in contact with a sales professional who all work closely with our technical team to come up with a solution that makes your business more successful, and that communication isn't a roadblock, isn't something that you have to get around. It's just something that becomes part of your workflow and part of your process. So don't forget to go down below, leave me a comment, like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel here, and reach out to us anytime. Again, my name is Don Humphrey, and this has been P&R Communications Tech Tips. Have a great day. We'll see you.